The US passport isn't what it used to be. More countries now require Americans to get a visa. So let's look at 10 countries that used to be visa-free, but not anymore. Number 10, Brazil. First up, Brazil. For years, Brazil was one of the easiest South American countries for Americans to visit. No visa, no problem. You could just hop on a plane and head to Rio, the Amazon, or Carnival without thinking twice. But in 2024, Brazil said, no more. They brought back visa requirements for US citizens. Why? The official reason was reciprocity. That means if Americans make Brazilians apply for a visa, Brazil will do the same. But there's more to it than that. Brazilian citizens have long complained about the unfairness of US visa policies. While Americans treated Brazil like an easy vacation destination, Brazilians faced interviews, fees, and paperwork just to visit Disneyland or New York. Add to that growing complaints about tourists being disrespectful, ignoring local customs, littering or acting like they own the place, and you start to see why Brazil pulled the plug on visa-free travel. Now, if you want to go to Brazil, you'll need to apply in advance, provide travel and financial details, and sometimes even go through an interview. It's not impossible, but it's a clear message. Brazil wants respect and equal treatment. Number 9, Argentina. Next, we go a little further south to Argentina. This beautiful country, home to tango, Patagonia, and Buenos Aires, has quietly changed its visa policy for Americans. As of 2025, US travelers must now apply for a visa before arrival. Again, the official reason is security, but behind the scenes, it's about politics and fairness. Argentina once embraced American tourists. The US dollar went far, and thousands of digital nomads moved there, treating the country like a cheap paradise. But over time, locals started to feel used. Many Americans stayed too long, avoided taxes, or treated Argentina like a discount getaway without giving back to the economy. Politicians took notice. First, they added a reciprocity fee, then came new border checks, and now full visa requirements. Many locals feel the policy is long overdue. It's also a reaction to how tough it is for Argentinians to visit the US. Why should Americans have it easy when their citizens face so many barriers? The result? American tourism is already dropping. Hotel owners are worried. But for now, Argentina is standing firm. Number 8, Turkey. Turkey is a key player between Europe and the Middle East, and for a long time it was easy to visit. Just grab an e-visa or get one at the airport. But that changed in 2024, when Turkey tightened its visa rules specifically for Americans and other Western travelers. Now Americans must apply in advance, wait longer for approval, and submit more paperwork, including proof of insurance and travel plans. What's the reason? Part of it is politics. Turkey's leadership wants to send a message. They're tired of being treated as second class by the West. US policies often treat Turkish citizens harshly when applying for American visas. High denial rates and difficult interviews have created tension. Turkey decided it was time to return the favor. And while tourism is important to Turkey's economy, this move is more about showing strength. They want to remind the world, and especially the US, that they're a powerful country, not just a tourist stop. Number 7, Thailand. Thailand, once a haven for backpackers and digital nomads, is no longer visa-free for Americans. Before 2024, US citizens could stay up to 30 days without a visa, and well, many would just leave and come back to reset the clock. It was a loophole that let people live there for months or even years without paying taxes or following immigration laws. Thailand finally said enough. A new immigration reform law now requires US travelers to get a tourist visa in advance. You have to show where you're staying, prove you have enough money, and sometimes even give fingerprints or other personal data. Thailand also created a task force to find and remove overstaying foreigners, many of whom are from Western countries. The real reason behind this change? Locals were getting frustrated. They saw certain tourists acting like they owned the place, ignoring traditions and taking advantage of the visa system. So Thailand made a change, and yeah, Americans are now feeling it. Number 6, South Africa. South Africa isn't always in the spotlight when it comes to US travel, but this change is a big deal. As of 2025, Americans must now apply for a visa before entering South Africa. It used to be one of the few African countries that welcomed US tourists without a visa. Not anymore. The official reason is to upgrade security and follow international standards, but honestly, many experts believe this is a response to diplomatic tension. South Africa and the US have had disagreements over trade, climate policy, and international relations. The visa-free policy was seen as goodwill. That goodwill is now gone. The visa process includes background checks, financial proof, and even biometric data. It's clear South Africa wants to control who comes in, and to show they're not under anyone's thumb. Number 5. Indonesia, Bali, Jakarta, Lombok. Indonesia has always been a favorite destination for Americans. Whether it's surfers, backpackers, or YouTubers, the country has hosted millions. But in 2024, everything changed. The government passed the Tourism Fairness Act, which ended visa-free travel for Americans. Why? Officials were tired of visitors overstaying their welcome, working illegally, and ignoring local rules. And honestly, a lot of the blame fell on Americans. Now, if you want to visit Indonesia, you must apply at least a month in advance, show where you'll stay, prove you have enough money, and agree to a new ethics clause. That's right, what you post online could affect your visa approval. Local groups supported the change. They felt tourists were harming the culture, raising housing costs, and treating the country like a playground. Now the doors are still open, but only to those who follow the rules. Number 4. Morocco. Morocco has long been one of the most accessible African countries for American travelers. Its rich history, food, and landscapes made it a must-visit. But in 2025, Morocco passed the National Sovereignty and Border Regulation Act, and now U.S. citizens must get a visa to enter. One big reason? Security. Moroccan officials say the U.S. doesn't share enough information about American travelers, especially those flagged for certain risks. So Morocco decided to take matters into its own hands. Another reason is social pressure. Young people in cities like Fez and Marrakesh were tired of tourism driving up prices and damaging local life. The government responded by tightening entry rules. Americans now need to apply early, show their plans, and in some cases explain why they're visiting. Number 3. Malaysia. Malaysia really shocked a lot of people when it revoked visa-free entry for U.S. citizens in 2025. The reason? Well, officials say it's about respect and fairness. For years, Malaysians have faced some pretty strict rules when visiting the United States. In fact, many were turned away even when they had valid visas. So, nationalist leaders in Malaysia decided it was time to fight back. They introduced a visa requirement that includes a background check, financial proof, and even interviews for longer stays. Tourism from the U.S. has dropped, but Malaysian leaders say it's worth it. They believe standing up to unequal treatment is honestly more important than short-term tourism dollars. Number 2. Kenya. Kenya, which is definitely one of Africa's most iconic destinations, no longer offers Americans visa-free entry. This change came in early 2025, and is actually part of a wider strategy by the African Union. The idea? Reciprocity. If African citizens face long waits and high rejection rates when visiting Western countries, then Westerners should go through the exact same process to visit Africa. Kenya's foreign ministry put it pretty bluntly: we're done with unequal rules. Americans must now apply through an online visa system, submit a travel plan, pass background checks, and agree to strict stay limits, just 30 days, no extensions. And if you break the rules, you get banned, automatically. Number 1, the UAE. Last but definitely not least, the United Arab Emirates, home to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. In 2025, the UAE removed the US from its visa-free list. This was a huge move. Why would a country that depends on global tourism make it harder for Americans to visit? The short answer: power. UAE leaders say the change was due to non-reciprocal visa policies and new security measures. Translation? They're honestly tired of watching their citizens jump through hoops to get into America while Americans walk right into Dubai like VIPs. Now, if you want to visit, you need to apply for a visa in advance. And that process, it can take weeks. Tourists are frustrated, business travelers are angry, and diplomats are embarrassed. But the message is clear: the UAE is no one's sidekick. The rules have changed. Travel smart. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.